And we made it. Here's the wheat field. Looks like someone tried driving in here, but this field was bought, 2019. Hey guys, welcome back to the farm. Hey, happy St. Patty's Day. Happy belated St. Patty's Day. I know it's a couple days after by the time you see this. Getting ready to feed these cattle. Got the vet coming today. Hey, speaking of St. Patty's Day, shout out to you guys from Ireland. I know there's some dairy farmers that watch this. And you'll be happy to note I've never been to a pub crawl. Pub crawl, some of you guys, older guys, don't know what that is. Where you take the day off on St. Patty's Day and you go to bar to bar. By the end of the bar, you just start crawling to each one. Told my wife I'd never been to one. She couldn't believe it. Thought I was lying. I said, no. Always had to work, and then in the military, when it was more my age to get wild, I was military police, so I was policing the pubs. Anyway, St. Patty's Day means one thing. My wife had a birthday. She just turned 37. Wish her a happy birthday if you would. We're gonna get these cattle fed, lay the feed in there. Really cooled down. Froze this all up. Nice, because I had it where it was getting pretty muddy, but starting to warm up now. No hat, no gloves. It's gonna be 30 to 40 degrees, which will be good. Got the vet coming. We marked them cows with some green cow-friendly marking spray for St. Patty's Day. We'll see Dr. Gubert, and he'll pregnancy check them. But first, get them fed, then we'll round them up. Let's go. Bunks are loaded for the day. That's 8,000 pounds per feeding. 8,000 in the morning, 8,000 at night. Yeah, they're having a ball. That's just like a steak and eggs breakfast casserole at Denny's or the Cracker Barrel. How you doing, honey? Yeah, they're happy. I'll probably leave this roll-up door today up. It's pretty decent out, calm. What we do is have the vet come out every month, run through roughly 20 to 25 cows to get preg checked. Dr. Gubert, Metamora, Michigan. He travels about 30 to 40 minutes to get here. He's just pushing mid-70s. Guy's in excellent shape, great vet. Has to go in through the cow's rectum, and he feels to see how far along that baby is. If he feels about a golf ball in there, it's roughly about 2 months. He has no intention of quitting. He's going to start getting into ultrasounding. But some of these cows I run in are a little further out. He says the ultrasound, which you go in through the same place with a probe, won't pick up on a cow that's, say, 4 months. That's still a guess. He has to go in there and he feels for the artery. But on an early pregnancy, the ultrasound would be most effective. Yeah, the same guys every month do the preg checks. Myself, my older brother Mark, older by 14 months, and now his son Jack, he helps us three every time, while my dad and my younger brother Greg will be off cleaning heifer pens and doing whatever needs to be done. Now, it used to be for the first 15 to 17 years, myself, my brother Mark, and my dad assisted my uncle Jim. He was our vet. He's since retired, and we've gotten Dr. Gubert since then, probably for the last 5 years. And then Dad, he moved away from the Preg checks, and we had other employees, but the last year or two, we've had Jack, 18 years old, doing good. Yeah, pregnancy checks are done right there in the milking parlor. Another good advantage of that milking parlor, and he'll tell me if I got some problems with a cow, give her some Muci, it'll help soften her up. Or sometimes he'll put her on an off sync, or I'll have to utilize or GnRH one. Here's your grain I'm about to dump in. That's some unbelievable stuff. Mixing up a batch for tonight. I'll show you once I get it mixed. But that's your herd check. I'm able to give him shots right in the parlor as he tells me. That way I'm done with it. This particular check, we did pretty well. 20 of them bred out of 25. Actually, 3 of them weren't even on there, so 20 out of 22. One needed a GnRH, and the other one, he said she just needs a little more sunshine. I'll show you this second cutting feed I'm putting in the batch. What I do is I drive around these bags towards the end of my pad right here, and we'll put the corn silage in. After we get done here, I think what we'll do today, I got to put some sand in the freeze-sols because it's warming back up. Some are a little low. Thought I'd give us an update on our wheat. Wheat is starting to grow again. There's your batch for tonight. If I can reach in here. See all them little specks in there? That's your ground corn. Mixing her up. Lay her in tonight. Seasons are changing. Yeah, them holes you're seeing there from me spinning, getting in this bag. Thing's packed tight. Then when it was froze, it was froze. A little bit of a drainage here. Once I get up probably this point, all that water's just gonna want to run over in the field. So there's your day in and day out battles with the plastic. And I'll cut that lip off and cut this down and dispose of it. I pull right in here. It's where I keep it now. Right in by my ground corn supply. I've got plenty in here. Plenty carryover for if he's gonna miss a day or two or so. But yeah, surprisingly, like you said, there's been no cat droppings or anything like that. So that's, so far so good. This is working out pretty good for us. Yeah, this is a holding area, and you know, this wall's going on 20 years old. That's why a lot of guys will pour a big wall here of cement, but I'll just keep nailing on her. Worst case, I'll have to just run a post right up to the truss. That would stiffen this up. Cows, man, they tear the heck out of everything. What are we doing in there? And we made it. Here's the wheat field. Looks like someone tried driving in here, but this field was bought, 2019. And the front of it here, which you're seeing kind of the low spots, this was all grass and hay. Both sides of the driveway. That house we ended up splitting off and selling, but the main portion of the field will go to the back there. It's all wheat too, but this we ended up finally ripping up. We tried to get it ditched a little bit so it would drain, but this is a work in progress. This is the first that's ever been planted. It was virgin ground, never really done anything with it. We just, because we knew it wouldn't drain well, there's not much of a ditch up front, we just decided to just cut hay. But finally we ripped it up. Let's head to the back. I knew they did some clearing on a ditch, and we got to hurry up before it gets too soft, because it's really warming up. We had the excavator over here. We were cleaning up all the lines of the field, and we finally got caught up after owning it for about 6 years to finally catch up and push them trees back. Made her to the back. Yeah, the guy called me about a month ago, said he was clearing the trees and cutting them off this drain. Look at them pile them. I think those are, he said they were box elder, or they're like a soft tree, huge. Want to know if we wanted them, because he has to cut them and clear them off the property. He wanted to stuff them in our little swamp in there, and apparently the neighbor ended up taking them. I don't know what you're going to do with them. I like hardwoods. Oh, you can burn, you know, soft wood like that, but prefer hardwoods. So you can see where he had to come in, trash the wheat here. He come along the edge here. This was turns to muck back here. That we're in that Michigan muck vein. Yeah, there was our pile of brush there that got cleared, and we're gonna burn that at some point. But you can see the ground and how this came up. Bernie, friend of ours, in his 80s, planted this with our auto steer. You can see how straight them lines are. I had him in the 7720 two-wheeler with a John Deere 750 no-till drill, 20 foot. And this stuff's coming up beautifully. You can see, look at, we're starting to get tacky. Man, that weather got warm, real warm. I mean, it was bad. You're gonna have stuff like this. We're gonna have to chuck it on this pile. This is a massive brush pile Greg built. And if you remember last year, I remember filming a video when we planted this. We just kind of planted all the way around it. But yeah, you gotta have an open, get them trees cut down. It don't look like they cut the drain, or they've dug the drain out any. That'll come next. That's the thing up here in Michigan. You need the water to get away. Some states in the center of the country, Iowa, Nebraska, some other ones there, they bring in the water. Texas, irrigation. Here, we're trying to get the water away because we get snow and substantial amount of rain. I mean, she's full. Ditch is full. So, she's a little froze still too. But we own all the way down around this. So you'll probably never farm this where we're looking at. But he's got a nice ditch cut to move out. And looks like there's a swamp on the north side. This big tree here, I don't know why he didn't take this one out. But I mean, he took all them out. Probably should have cut that one out too. I don't know why they didn't do it. This tree here looked like it either got pushed over or blown over, but I tell you what, walking in here, you might be able to farm this at some point. Yeah, it gets pretty, it gets pretty spongy in here, but up here, I mean, look at them pine trees. You want to talk about a nice place to go in there and have a picnic. Look at this setting right here. Look at the trail in here of all the deer tracks and whatnot. Beautiful out here when you find pockets like that. It looks like a white pine. A couple white pines in here. And there's the other side of that wheat. But so far the wheat's looking good. That's important. We need it for the straw, and also if it brings a decent price, you sell it, and need it for operating expenses. Yeah, look at this area. Peaceful out here. Yeah, I just remember what them big trees were called. Cottonwoods. I had one of them in my yard once. I took it down just because it made a nasty mess. Cotton blown all over. Yeah, I've got a ditch. We've got a ditch all the way around this center island piece. So, plus it's probably classified wetland. You probably can't. Yeah, it looks to be working pretty good. Wheat looks pretty decent over here. Patch of muck. I mean, you see how black that dirt is. Couple geese out there squawking. Wondering what the heck I'm doing out here. Be some good hunting out here. Yeah, he's got another pile of logs there. That guy must have let him, because when he called, he's supposed to cut them, clear them, and take them out. Unless he can get the property owner to take them. Apparently they took them. See these stakes right here? That's our property line. Surveyed by Rick Duttler. He's puts monuments in there. So we own, looks like on that side of the drain of the ditch. And someone's got a big old tree stand over there. We don't own that, but that looks like a nice one. Another one way down there. Good hunting out here. Yeah, that water level's the same as this bottom of this land right here, so we don't need much more rain. We'll be flooding. Got about 175 acres of wheat in this year. This is about 60. Then we got another patch, another few more fields to make that amount. But this was a good rotation. We always like to mix wheat in. Still can't figure out why he didn't take that tree out. Kind of baffling. Get this out of here. But yeah, we had there's some water running. You can see it. Mucky, sandy, beautiful ground. Here's the original stake, railroad tie, with some, what the heck's this? Oh, that's some deer urine. I'll pick that up. I don't like littering. Some hunter left that out there. But here's the original corner stake. Looks like, oh, people put rocks there, you know, the farmers. Looks like a railroad tie with some barbed wire that was from long time ago. But when Rick surveyed it, turns out the corner was here. Man, look at that wire. That's gonna have to get ripped out. you hook that with something, you're gonna rip the heck out of a planter. But yeah, he's got on here, Emily City, Michigan, R.A. Duttler. This stake, this monument was found behind the building. He decided to use them for markers. Thought it would be kind of cool. But so that other monument runs on an angle through that ditch to make it a square field. Pretty cool. I don't know why people do that. Litter, not cool. And she goes up and turns. You got a big one on this corner. Another deer blind. It's like the guy's got a little artificial Christmas tree up there for some blockage. Yeah, then it makes this bend here. Beautiful in here. Another thing over here. We don't own over there. I wish we did. Look what they uncovered. Bunch of farm equipment. That looks like some sort of an elevator conveyor. So wheel way in there. I don't know if that's a manure spreader or no way of getting over there. Plus it's not our property, but love uncovering old farm equipment. I mean, it's really only good, those wheels you could keep, but scrap it or a piece of tile in there. Yeah, it's hard telling what that stuff is unless you were right up on it. But man, it got overgrown. Probably 40, 50 years, maybe longer. Quick grease job. This front end was squeaking on me. Every time I load a bucket, it was squeaking. Over here. Guys, back home. Hey, I got some new internet I'm getting ready to install. I had to get up on that roof. I was trying to find the right spot for it. It's called that Starlink. That way, if I do some more live streams, it's not so glitchy. Well, getting up there, I realized the gutters are just full of leaves and junk. Ended up having like 2, 4, 5, threw 2 off the roof over there, 7 bags full of leaves and junk. So anyway, got the gutters clean. All I got to do is I'll mount that up, and my Frontier internet doesn't do very well. They say Starlink does pretty well. I did see a Starlink train in the air. I talked about that on my live stream. It was pretty cool sight to see. I thought we were getting invaded by a bunch of aliens. But I hope you like the wheat field. I've been raising money for Mom's scholarship. We give it 2 scholarships out a year. Lost Mom in 2020. So I started asking for donations. If you donate $250 or more, I do advertising for you on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. This channel, I'll give you a shout out, put your logo name. If it's a farm, I'll give the farm a shout out from wherever it is. Got a combined of those 2 platforms 130,000 followers. So if you're looking to donate, you can email me at kipsigler@outlook.com. If not, I've had a couple donations. I'm going to put their logos on the screen now, because that's part of the deal. One's a local real estate company. His daughter actually won it last year. I gave it to a girl going to West Point. So Alex Lingeman, thank you. And there's his logo. He's known for giving 3%, charging only 3% selling a house. He caused quite the ruckus around here. It's usually 6, but he only charges 3. He says that's a fair rate. And the other guy's Rick Dutler, our land surveyor. You've probably seen, I wear a lot of his shirts. He gives me shirts to wear. Rick Dutler, land surveyor. If you ever need any land surveyed and you're in the area, give him a shout. But thank you guys for keeping Mom's legacy alive and, you know, investing in the children and the youth, Emily City Schools. That note, guys, take care. See you in the next video. Warmed up, be pretty nice day. So, God bless.